So let's talk about getting ourselves out of a depressive state on the spiritual path, on your awakening journey. Okay, so for the human, for personal consciousness, depression requires medication and doctors, and it is very much about the past. And for the soul, a depression is awakening, which is very much like getting sober after you spent an entire lifetime being drunk. Everything that we thought we were and everything that we thought life was is going to change. And we're going to come to find that all these ideas we had weren't even true. And that could be a shock to the system. Sometimes we just need rest. Sometimes we need to make big changes in our lives, and we don't want to hear that. So I'm going to offer some holistic guidance on this. First of all, we are focused so intently on what we don't have and not on what we do have when we start to become in a depressive state. And one way to get yourself out of that is to take a look at what you do have. And if you still don't like what you do have, then change that. Give it away. Change your furniture. Change your hairstyle. Do something different. Create some sort of change in your life to move that depressive energy. I'm always going to suggest going for a walk, always getting in some type of exercise. You have a better chance of getting out of that state and changing your state of being when you're moving your body, okay? And I get it, there's times where you're just not going to feel like it. But another thing you can do is to take a look at your current situation and imagine that your current situation is as good as it's ever going to get, that nothing will ever change. And then decide, where will I focus my energy? If everything in my life is going to stay exactly the same, where will I focus my attention? Right? And you'll see that you'll be able to shift and change that energy. But depression on this path is normal, right? The ego is dissolving. It's being transformed, and it doesn't want that. And it's going to cling to its memories of the past, and it's going to tell you, it's going to keep replaying that loop cycle, those stories that happened when you were a child, and how everybody else is doing better than you, and all these things, right, that aren't true. So the prescription for that is staying at the present moment, right? Because we're not suffering anything at the present moment. What are we suffering? Our thoughts about everything. That's it. These are just thoughts. And you can choose your thoughts. You can redirect them to ones that are going to. Sorry, the light is blinding, but this is just the way it is. This is when it is convenient for me to make videos and feels most aligned for me. So, so you want to ask yourself, where would you focus your attention if things were never to change? And you can start focusing your attention on what is going right. What are the things that you like? And if you really care about your journey, you can get a pen and paper out and write it down. So it's in your face, all the things that are going right. And maybe make a little list of what would it take? Ask yourself this, because this is a pretty confronting question. What would it take for you to be happy? What things would have to change, and what things would have to happen in your life for you to be happy? And see what you find. This is holistic approach. Because if you're going to therapy, no judgment. I've been to therapy many years ago. But you're retelling that story. You're reigniting it. You're reliving it over and over. And it is not going to go anywhere if you keep giving it attention and energy. And every time we spin that story around the block, it gets embellished. And there is science that proves that half of what we're talking about never even happened, right? And we tell these stories so that we don't have to be the one that creates the change, right? This keeps us comfortable and stuck and depressed. Anyway, so there's my holistic guidance. I do what you want, obviously. The first thing is just try to smile. Can you force a smile, right? Everything's going to hell in a handbasket. Great. I love it. More of that, please, right? Anyway, that's if you want to change. If not, stay depressed. That's your journey. Do whatever you want, obviously. But you're only ever suffering your thoughts. And they're not even who you are. And you can choose different ones anytime you want. right? And stay present, because nothing's going on right now in this present moment that is creating suffering other than your thoughts. All right, I love you. I hope that it wasn't too loud outside for this video. And that's all. Love you. Bye.